Once upon a time, there was a dude named Tom. On all accounts, he was the most normal guy you've ever met. Except, he had one thing that set him apart from everybody else. His head was huge. It was like double human size, about. And he was a good-looking guy, but his head was huge. His name was Tom, And so he had a normal job. He worked at an office, and he ran a lot of errands for the office, basically. That was like his job. He just kind of like went and got donuts, coffee. It was a pretty easy office environment, so like they kind of just had that extra position, and he filled it well. One day he was out on the town. He had went out of the office to get these new drinks from a new shop that had opened up. It was called Antiqua's Tequilas. And the whole office really wanted some of these tequilas to make the day go by. It was a Friday. Nothing to do, not shit to do in the office. So he went for a little stroll down to Antiqua's Tequilas and picked up a 24-pack tequilas to go. All right. He was on his way home, or on his way back to the office, when he fell. He tripped and dropped all of the tequilas, and they all went everywhere, and the office had paid for them on company credit, brother. He was distraught. My nigga was like on his knees fucking trying to piece together these tequilas, but the liquid had already spilled out. It was in vain. That's when he looked up, because he saw two hands coming down to help. He looked up, and who was it down on her knees but the princess of all the land? Pink Panthers. Now, normally, he didn't talk to girls because his head was fucking huge. And they would be like, I don't want to talk to you because it would go against societal norms to be with you. Everybody would look at me strange. And I'd rather have a comfy boyfriend who with a regular size head. So when this happened, when he was face to face with the princess of all the lands, Pink Panthers herself, the most beautiful, gorgeous maiden, he froze. He didn't know what to say. He couldn't even say, oh, it's okay, I don't need help. He just was on his hands and knees like. And she said, here, let me piece these together for you. And they tried to piece together the little glasses, but they couldn't, no matter how hard they tried, because they didn't have any glue. And so they stood up, rightfully distraught, and she said, well, should we not go back and try to get some more Antiqua's Tequilas? And he said, well, it was on company credit. And she said, don't worry, the royal palace will pay for it. It's on us. It's on my guys. And he said, okay, you want to walk with me? Aren't you embarrassed about my huge head? She said, no, I find it quite strong. I find it a very masculine head, your big head. And so they walked, a knightly, honorable head. And so they walked down to the Antiqua's Tequilas, and everybody was snapping pictures. And my boy, he had this huge confidence burst because he was walking with not only, but the Pink Panthers, the princess herself, down to Antiqua's Tequilas. And they got themselves their new batch of 24 glasses of tequilas and made their way back to his office. And standing outside the office building, he said, will I ever see you again, Pink Panthers? She responded, if the gods will it, if Christ may will it, we shall. And he went into his office, and he scrammed. As soon as she was out of sight, he scrammed up to his cubicle and looked out the window just to gaze and watch her walking. She met back with her royal gods, and they were off. Now came the next day, well, about a week later, the next Friday, and his office had loved those tequilas so much that they sent him back for another round. And as it were, he purchased his Anticos tequilas at the same time on the same day in hopes that he would see her again. He made his way back along the road back to his office, and that's when he saw her. She was standing there alone on the sidewalk. People were walking by as if she wasn't there, as if they didn't notice the magnitude of beauty that was upon them, that can only be seen once in a lifetime, spare the few closest to her. And if the true gravity of such a situation were to dawn upon them, the simple pedestrians, would they not have gazed longer? Such a rare beauty. But he did. Our big-headed Tom, he saw that beauty. He saw that. He walked straight up to her, and with all the air in his chest, he said, "Pink Panthers, let me take you on a date." She said, "Why? I was waiting for you to ask." And so he took her on a date. They went to Cecilia's Donuts. Cecilia's Donuts on the corner. And they had an outback patio where they sat down and enjoyed donuts, bagels if you're French. And they really enjoyed this snack, this tasty treat. But what they enjoyed more was one another's company. The loving glances and chatters and laughs. And it was at that moment that they both knew they were meant to be together. His big head and the beautiful princess. You see, when you grow up as a princess, you grow up in a world much different than others. So a lot of the societal things that make us yay or nay to another man or another girl are simply a little bit different. She didn't care about his big head. She cared more about his big heart. Check it. Pink Panthers, if you're out there, I love you. So the moral of this story, the end. The moral of this story is basically, no matter how chopped you is, no matter how scuffed you is, down bad, horrendously, there's always a princess out there. Okay? There's always a Pink Panthers. Or some real maiden waiting on the other side of the trees. Just waiting. Now for me, I haven't found her yet. You see, I'm solo conquesting in a co-op damn battle royale lobby. And it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fucking fun. I'm 28 years old. I got shit to show for it. Not shit, okay? But I'm conquesting as it is. I'm still going, doing my thing. Waiting for Pink Panthers. Waiting for Pink Panthers, bro. Waiting for Pink Panthers, bro. Just doing my thing. I do the thing, I think they call it getting out there. I go to coffee shops, bookstore. I go on to the little town. One thing I haven't done that I don't think I'll resort to is going to church. I love Christ. I love my Christ, but something about church just doesn't really feel right. Maybe if I found the right one, but also something about dating at church just does not feel right. It feels like some kind of cult ritual type bullshit. I swear. Like, you go into the church and get hooked up with, yeah, dude, I don't know. Something about that feels really off. The whole premise of it. I don't know why. Especially like when you go like the Mormon route. yo, yo. That shit feels super off. All right, those are my thoughts for today. Goodbye, your turb.